all the stuff. Pretty cool. I'm gonna hand out now the stage to our spotlighted BP, SHEOS, and our lovely Jess. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. How are you?
We're great, and we're now even happier to see you on our screen.
Awesome.
We were supposed to have you live here in Tel Aviv.
I know. I was so looking forward to it. I've never been to Tel Aviv, and then a whole bunch of travel plans got messed up. So I'm sad not to be there, but I hope I'll actually make it in person one day soon.
So let's take a rain check on that, and I'm gonna take it on me to be your Tel Aviv local guide.
Excellent. I look forward to it.
Okay, Jess, tell us all about SHEOS. What are you guys about? What are you girls about as well? And why should the EOS token holder vote SHEOS on their as their block producer?
Cool. How long, Hanan? How long do I have?
You got wait. You got 15 minutes because we wanted the people to also ask you some questions.
Great. Okay, cool. That's awesome. So hi, everybody. My name's Jess Houlgrave. I'm one of the founders of SHEOS. I will spend the next 15 minutes or so talking a little bit about who we are and what we do, and I guess what makes us different, aside from the fact that we're all women, which is the most obvious differentiator, but there are a few other bits too. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me know when you can see this. Here we go.
Yeah, we can see that.
Great. Okay, cool. So let's start from the beginning rather than the end, which is where I was. So SHEOS is we're an EOS block producer. We've been around since April last year, and we were the first female-founded block producer on EOS. Our vision is not only to make EOS the most powerful decentralized platform in the world, but we think that a real way to do that is through diversity. We think that diverse opinions, diverse people, diverse backgrounds, and education is a way that we can ensure that when we build EOS and we build this ecosystem, we build it for everybody. We don't build it for a small proportion of the world, but the goal is that EOS serves and is a platform for everybody, wherever you're from, whoever you are, and whatever needs you have. And so that's kind of the fundamental position that we started with. And as you can see, we're a team of 10 female founders. Down in the bottom here, you'll see Ben Sigmund, who is our CTO. We have Autumn, who is our marketing officer, and Wanyun, this is the kind of the core team. But alongside that, we have a whole bunch of other women involved. But to introduce themselves, I'm actually going to show you a very short video, which rather than me explain who all of us are, I think this will help. So let me do this.
I am Crystal Rose, and I am SHEOS.
I am Emily Bush, and I am SHEOS.
Hi, I am Vivian, and I am SHEOS.
I am Nicole Boyar, and I am SHEOS.
I'm Pamela Day, and I'm SHEOS too.
I'm Jess Houlgrave, and I am SHEOS.
I'm Sandy Hill, and I'm SHEOS.
I'm Shauna May Devond, and I am SHEOS.
I am Maya Vujanovich, and yes, I am SHEOS.
I am Naomi, and I am SHEOS.
We are SHEOS.
We are
SHEOS.
SHEOS.
The first
female founded
block
producer.
Block producer
on the EOS
network.
EOS network.
We are an international group.
International.
国际
of exceedingly talented
technologists
and entrepreneurs.
Engineers, technologists, and entrepreneurs.
We believe
EOS
and blockchain technology
和区块链技术
have the power to
change the
world.
Change the world.
改变世界
We are committed
to our responsibility
as your custodian.
We are custodians
of the EOS network
belongs to you.
You.
Our dedicated infrastructure runs
on bare metal racks.
Bare metal.
Highly
secure.
State-of-the-art
Data center in Iceland.
We know how to do this.
What makes us different?
Different from the others.
We think.
It's a privilege to give back.
Giving enriches community.
Giving back enriches us.
It's a responsibility we've taken to heart.
We are responsible
to the EOS community.
EOS.
SHEOS builds community.
Yep.
We have a plan.
We're building a broad-based educational program.
All are welcome at our global meetups.
Gatherings where anyone can learn.
EOS Meetups, sponsored by SHEOS.
And we are really proud of this. SHEOS scholarships that will be awarded to girls
in marginalized second and third world countries.
Education. Girls
and young women.
Learn to code.
Technical education.
We are sponsoring scholarships for girls.
我们给女孩们提供奖学金。
Girls grow into women.
Strong, capable women.
Capable and literate women empower whole societies.
Everyone benefits from the education of women.
Everyone benefits.
SHEOS makes the world a better place.
SHEOS.
SHEOS.
Thank you. So that is a bit of an introduction to who we are and who the ladies are. And as I said, we come from all over the world, all different backgrounds, from finance, from technology, from coding and technical, through to marketing and being a DJ and all sorts of things. And so our goal is really to represent not only diverse backgrounds within our team, but then to help foster that within the EOS ecosystem. And so since May, we have been involved with testing and launching the mainnet. We have over 40, I think we're actually up to about 47 million votes right now from EOS account holders. And we have had the privilege of speaking at numerous events around the world and partnering with many of those events to run community-focused endeavors. So we've run developer training hackathons, sort of developer workshops before some of the EOS hackathons. We've partnered with several other groups to run developer workshops, some of which are exclusively focused for women and others which are for the broader community. And so kind of participating in those has been a big theme for us. In terms of our infrastructure, we have bare metal racks in Iceland, and those are continuously kind of being updated and invested in from our side. And in technical contributions, the most prominent has been the EOS 21 protocol, which is a sort of set of smart contracts that we developed to enable an easy movement from Ethereum to EOS. Crystal Rose, who is one of the SHEOS co-founders, who's also the founder of Sense, which is a chat messaging app, was originally building on Ethereum. And I think like many projects on the Ethereum network found that it just wasn't suitable for use. And so together with Ben and a group of other developers, we have put together the EOS 21 protocol, which will enable people to move in an easy way from Ethereum to EOS. And it's been really interesting the last few months to speak with a number of projects who are, thinking of using this and beginning to take some of that code. So that's been great. And then the other thing that we have done most recently in terms of the technical side is launch a light history node. As many of you will know, we've had a lot of kind of bandwidth issues and things like that in terms of accessing some of the history nodes. And thanks to Greymass's kind of contribution, they made it much easier for a block producer to launch a light history node. And so we launched ours going back about 2.5 months now. The other thing that we have been involved in is building and helping applications. So most of this is done on an individual level as founders. Crystal is obviously the founder of Sense. I've been working closely with a couple of interesting projects, Building Blocks, which is focused on the kind of development of public space, a cool project that's still in stealth mode that's in the esports game, sort of arena. Viviane, who is originally a DJ, who's one of the SHEOS co-founders, is an advisor to Emanate. And I've been sort of come from an art background as well, and so have been a big fan and supporter of Pixios along the way. And so where we have specific skills, we really try to get involved with great projects that are building on EOS, and indeed encourage projects that we know that aren't on EOS to make that switch. This is a little bit more about Sense. Sense launched officially in the middle of last month. Gosh, it's April already. And so for anybody who doesn't have it, I highly encourage you to download it. It's a peer-to-peer messenger, and there are continuously new features being added. And I think Sense is certainly one of the coolest apps out there, and is super easy to use. And so you can download it now on Android and on an Apple. The other obvious thing about SHEOS, as I mentioned earlier, is our passion for diversity. We've done numerous kind of studies and a lot of research into why there is a lack of diversity in tech. And this is broader than just the blockchain space, but is specifically acute in the blockchain space. And although women in the United States comprise 50% of the workforce, they comprise less than 6% of people working in blockchain. And the number of women employed in computer science has actually been dropping. Despite a lot of women, and particularly young girls, showing a huge interest in STEM and computer science, we still see this big drop-off through the education process and then into the workforce. And so one of the things that we have been doing at SHEOS is focusing on younger girls to help educate them, to involve them in coding from a young age, so that it becomes kind of part of the core. And so we've partnered with Kingsland University, and we have been piloting projects to effectively fund girls' technical education. We see this as really important because not only is it important for girls as they go through their kind of teenage years, which is typically when we see the drop-off in interest in technology, to be encouraged to still participate, but it's also really important for the boys in their classes as well to see that this is a diverse space, and that it's not just a group of boys who are doing computer classes at school, but actually that computer science is for everyone. And so one of the things that we have been working with Kingsland on is to make sure that the curriculum designed is also really exciting for young girls too. And so the foundation is a big part of that. And we work, and we've kind of partnered with various other groups, and that is a big focus for us in terms of expansion over the coming years. On International Women's Day this month, which was last month again, which is on the March 8th, we launched a global campaign to make EOS the most diverse blockchain in the world. It's called Diverse EOS, and it is a manifesto. The idea is that any participants in the EOS ecosystem, be them an individual, a block producer, a project, can take the pledge, and by that we mean align themselves with a commitment that EOS should be a diverse place and that we welcome equality and inclusion. Indeed, EOS Israel, I think, was the second group to make that pledge. And so again, I'm going to show you a very short video so that you don't get too bored with me talking about why the Diversity Manifesto is so important.
We are SHEOS, and we are signing the Diversity Manifesto because we believe that diversity will help EOS change the world for everyone.
Hi, this is EOS Nairobi, and we support the Diversity Manifesto. We believe it's going to be of great benefit to the community and to the ecosystem as a whole.
Hi, this is Ryan from EOS 42, and we're supporting the Diversity Manifesto because we believe that inclusion will help make EOS a stronger and more vibrant community.
Hi, at Investing in the Difference, we believe that without diversity, there is no community. So
Hi, I'm Galia Benartzi with the EOS Alliance, and we are proud to support the EOS Diversity Initiative, making EOS inclusive and accessible for all.
We are EOS Links. We fully support SHEOS' initiative by signing the Diversity Manifesto.
Because we believe in equality and diversity, not only on EOS, but in the blockchain community as a whole.
EOS 既然就是一个开放和包容的生态，我们是 Hello EOS， 我们支持 EOS 多样性宣言。
We are EOS Nation, and we signed the Diversity Manifesto. We believe that through diversity, strength emerges.
Hey guys, Trent here from Emanate and the rest of the team.
And we are signing the Diversity Agreement.
We're all about EOS and diversity, so let's make a change and work together.
Hello, we are EOS Canon. We are standing for the diversity of manifesto. Diversity makes EOS better.
We are Meet One, and we are signing Diversity Manifesto because we believe that this is one of the ways to be successful. Be different, be diversified.
We are Wikipedia, and we support the Diversity Manifesto because it connects to Wikipedia's mission. We want to make Wikipedia more diverse by centralizing information and giving everyone access.
We are Stargates. We signed EOS Diversity Manifesto.
Let's start here.
And so that has been a big campaign for us, and the ongoing result of that campaign has been really great. We've had a lot of institutions, not only people and companies, not only kind of sign up to the manifesto, but also agreed to share with us data around diversity. And data is really crucial because not only does it help us figure out where we are right now in terms of the landscape, but it helps us set goals and devise achievable, tangible actions that the community can take to make EOS a more diverse place. And so over time, we think that gathering data, and sharing actions that people can do will really improve the EOS ecosystem. This is a little long to read out, but you can find it on our website if you're interested. So I'm going to stop talking and answer any questions. We firmly believe that educated and empowered women can empower whole societies, and that diversity can benefit absolutely everyone. And that is why we would love you to vote for SHEOS.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, so thank you very much. I also want to point out that the EOS Israel proxy, which is EOS Israel EOS, has always supported the SHEOS. So I'm just going to ask one question and then leave it up for the community. So how can we get SHEOS to the top 21? Well, how many votes are missing? What do you think, in your opinion, that needs to be done to get you guys producing blocks?
That's a really great question, Hanan. And I think that there are a few things. One, I think the purpose of SHEOS and the mission behind it is sometimes misunderstood. Certainly at the outset, we had a lot of people asking if we hate men or if we don't want men to be part of the ecosystem, or if the whole point is to get 50% women involved. And I think that this idea that we hate men is fundamentally wrong. We are not about excluding anybody. We're certainly not about removing men and replacing them with women in this ecosystem. Ultimately, like most of blockchain, I firmly believe that EOS is not a zero-sum game, that there is space for everybody, and that there is no need for people to compete with each other. But the more people we have involved, the better. Ultimately, this technology is still so nascent. And so this idea, I think some of the purpose of SHEOS is sometimes misunderstood. And we've been trying to educate people and really trying to reach out to the wider EOS community to help them understand why SHEOS is a valuable participant in the ecosystem, not just in terms of the foundation or our work with diversity, but in terms of showing that EOS is a place for everybody from the outside, because EOS is trying to bring new people in, and if outsiders can see that there are people like them already in the ecosystem, they're much, much more likely to become involved. And so that's why I think SHEOS is so important. But that message is still something that we're trying to get out there. And I think that that's our biggest task right now, is to do that. And secondly, also to continue, I think, the work that we're doing on the technical side. Ben, I know behind the scenes does so much that is sometimes not recognized. And a lot of the SHEOS women are involved in other projects that doesn't necessarily reflect on SHEOS. And so I think, over the coming months, we're going to be trying to draw some more attention to the work that we're doing in the wider ecosystem.
Awesome. Community questions for Jess.
Have a quick one.
Jess.
So, hey Jess, this is Matt. Love your ethos. You should maybe call yourself Shethos. So where are you on the ranking of block producers? Like what number are you?
Right now, I think we're 47 or 48, something like that.
Got it. And then what do you do to close the gap? Your mission it's got awesome purpose, but what else can you do to close the gap?
Yeah, one of the other things that I didn't mention before to Hernan's question is I think focusing on the sort of perceived East-West divide that is in EOS at the moment. And I think a lot of it is actually perception more than reality. Wan Yun, who we brought into the team at the end of last year, has been spending a lot of time in China and trying to really get to know the community there. I'm currently kind of involved in an art project that's working with some block producers over in China. And I think that, expanding our reach, which is quite US-centric at the moment, with a little bit of Europe, to
We just missed the last part, Jess.
oh no. Becoming more global, expanding our community in Asia, and bringing new members into the kind of SHEOS ecosystem, I think will be really helpful to us too. And spreading the word, getting more voters.
Of course. Jess, about the Diversity Manifesto, you noticed EOS Israel signed it. We put it also on our website that we published yesterday. I think it is an awesome initiative, but I think so far it has only around even less than 100 EOS or such. It's like, just let me explain, guys. To sign the manifesto, you're supposed to donate 5 EOS to the diversity cause. And you can claim of that you signed the manifesto. Could you explain, Jess, what are the funds of the donations are going for, and how can we get the diversity manifesto spread out even more?
Yeah, so please share it. We have been sharing it slowly across the communities, and we've just translated the Diverse EOS website into Chinese and also put Chinese subtitles on our Diversity Manifesto website. So it's now a little bit more accessible to Chinese speakers too. We really want people to share it. The funds are somewhat symbolic. It costs 5 EOS to sign the manifesto. And that's really so that there is an on-chain record of somebody making a pledge. And we've had great people write great messages alongside those donations. In terms of where the funds are going to, they're going to 2 causes. One is a charity called Mama Hope. And Mama Hope is started by this incredible woman called Nyla Rogers, and it funds female entrepreneurship in developing countries. She was one of the first charities to accept cryptocurrencies as donations, and has done a lot of work helping cryptocurrency businesses and blockchain-based businesses, go through the Mama Hope program into developing countries. And so part of the funds will go to support female entrepreneurship endeavors in developing countries. And the other part will go to the Empower MEOS campaign, which is all about funding, individual access to people with smartphones and giving them access to EOS and educating them about EOS. As well. So 2, I think, really great causes who will ultimately be the beneficiaries of those funds. But yeah, please spread the word. We've had some not only block producers and companies, but individuals sign up, and so we really want this to be a long-term thing where it becomes a core part of the EOS ethos.
It's great. Jess, you were awesome. Now a question came up. So last question.
Hi, I'm Tom. Nice to meet you. So regarding the SHEOS 21 protocol, can you maybe tell us where there's some known tokens that use this to transform to EOS from Ethereum? Like how many tokens have done it in general, stuff like that? A bit more details.
So Sense is the first one that did that. They used it in mid-March. So they're the only ones that we know who've done it already. And there are about 3 other projects right now that we're in kind of talks with to help them, start engaging with it too.
Thanks.
Okay, Jess. So thank you very much for being with us. And it was lovely to meet you in London. And consider us your partners in getting you guys to the top 21. And
thank you very much for having me today. It's a real honor, and I'm sad that I couldn't be there in person, but hopefully one day I'll make it out there soon.
Great. Guys, give it up for SHEOS. Yes, thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay, so now, guys, we have our last presenter. And last but not least, Mr. Sean from M&A. What's up?
Hey, Hernan. How are you, bro?
All good, mate. Happy to see you.
You too.
Yeah. So let's take the community from the beginning, and we'll get up to the point to the latest updates. Just a little background. Sean, do you remember the first time we met? You're one of the first presenters of EOS Israel as well.
Yeah, I do remember. I don't think it was the same one that Dallas was on, though.
No,
might have been.
No.
Maybe.
It was our 3rd meetup. August.
Right. Have you got a similar crowd there this time, or have you got some new faces?
We got a much smaller crowd, but totally different.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I might run through like a couple of overview slides, and then we can have a bit of a chat, and then I can show a bit of a preview of what's coming with the alpha platform.
Awesome. Drive us through.
All right, just give me a sec. I'll just get this up. I stayed awake, man. I've been listening in.
Oh, really? That's awesome. How do you
Yeah.
find it? I'm sorry we couldn't stream the Platin presentation, but it was top notch, man.
You have to send me something.
I will. gonna edit. I'm gonna paste everything together and then upload it for the community.
Yeah, cool. We're me, Jimmy, and Trent are heading to the airport in about 2.5 hours to fly to LA, and then we're going to Chicago, and then we're going to be in San Francisco for the EOS World Expo as well. So we're looking forward to catching up with everyone in the community.
Man, I'd love to meet you guys there, but I don't think we'll be able to make it. But everyone's going there. I hear that, you know, also Dallas and you guys now are flying there.
Yeah, the EOS community events are the best, man.
Benny's going to. He's get flown by either Liquid Apps or Liquid EOS, which is both there. So they got the budget.
Have you got the deck there?
Yeah, we see it, bro. So take us in. What's Emanate?
Cool. So Emanate is technology for the future of music. It's kind of a tagline that we've landed on for the technology side, and when we chat to the EOS community, and it's resonated really well. So actually, when we launched the platform to consumers in May, we're just dropping off the technology part, and it's just Emanate for the future of music. And that really sums up what this is about. It's about, you know, not just music streaming, but and cryptocurrency, but just about providing a pipeline and a backbone for the music industry to actually evolve to where it needs to be, you know, to work for people in the future. And so I'll tell you a bit more about that. So in terms of our milestones, we're reaching our alpha platform deployment in May. And we've done that on our private sale and angel funding alone. We've now got over 300,000 EMT token holders off the back of a major airdrop that went out a couple of weeks ago. We sent 10 EMT out to most EOS, what appeared to be active EOS accounts, and have given everyone an opportunity to turn that 10 EMT into 200 EMT inside an alpha account as well. So we've got about just under 2,000 of those signed up and ready to go as well. And now that we've got this collaboration and monetization engine built, we believe that it is the world's fastest music monetization and collaboration engine, full stop. So, you know, we're excited to push that out and start telling the world about it. So the reason that we're doing this is that the music industry is quite broken. You know, the distribution and payment systems aren't really fit for purpose anymore. You know, it's 2019 and musicians still get checks in the mail for playback of their music in different locations around the world, which just seems crazy. And only 12% of the actual music industry revenue makes it through to the artists and the songwriters at the end of the day. So yeah, even on, you know, modern digital platforms like Spotify, you're only getting paid quarterly, and it just doesn't make any sense. So we're here to fix that.
There's no real way to verify if the streaming that you're getting paid for actually reflects in a true manner the streams that you actually got or the plays that you got as a musician, right? Yeah, that's right. And in most royalty collection agencies, it doesn't actually reflect what's really been played. So we're doing something about that. So Emanate's a basis for collaboration for artists anywhere in the world to work together. They can push music out to the world and have payments automatically split in code, so they're not relying on trust. They're not relying on any third party to capture revenue and share it out to them in their own country, which is why there's no kind of lag of payment. And we're also giving an opportunity for micropayments to be made for parts. So for a song to be chopped up into remix stems or acapellas to be monetized, to enable more rapid collaboration. And, you know, ultimately everything that's behind this will be opened up through APIs and a software development kit for developers to use and for audio to be consumed from anywhere. So although the alpha platform that we're launching looks very much like a streaming platform, we're just building that on top of our own technology layer in order to show people what it can do. But the software itself, that's why we call it the Audio Exchange Protocol. The software itself will be available for other people to use. And yeah, so we refer to it as sound from the source, one place where one place from which artists can share and monetize their audio creations.
And that's something that artists don't really have at the moment. You know, if they release new music, they need to distribute it out through TuneCore and get it on Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud and all of these different platforms. And there's no one place where they can just go, cool, that's done. It's here. If anyone wants to collaborate on it, if anyone wants to license it, if anybody wants to, you know, stream it or broadcast it, there's no one place for them to do that. So that's our unique proposition. So yeah, our vision and the reason we're doing this is we just believe that with today's technology, artists should be able to collaborate from anywhere in the world. They shouldn't have to worry about establishing trust first, and they should be able to get paid instantly. And looking at the music industry evolution, there's been, you know, major waves of disruption and change over the years. And if we sort of just look at how quickly we've moved through from compact discs, the birth of MP3s, leading to the very disruptive peer-to-peer torrenting systems. And then out of that was born iTunes, and if you're in the DJ world, like Beatport and DJ Download. And, you know, around that time in the early 2000s, music industry revenue was declining, and there wasn't a lot of good things going on. But with Spotify being adopted in the mainstream, music industry revenue started heading in the right direction again. I think it was up like 22% on between 2018 and 2017. But what we're starting to see is the beginning of the decentralization of the industry, a movement towards self-publishing and direct monetization through different sort of channels like YouTube and so forth. And we're also just starting to see the very beginning of virtual performances like the Marshmallow thing that was done with Fortnite. And we're going to see more and more like in-game performance, virtual reality performances, whether they're pre-recorded or live. And Emanate is a technology that will be able to support those types of things. So I'll just quickly jump into the demo, which shows the real-time payments and the split payments. You might get a little bit of audio through my computer, so I'll try and get it right. So yeah, these tracks are all tracks from our Emanate official artists, and I'll jump into the first one here, which is a remix. So once we get the music playing down the bottom, can you hear like me and the music?
We hear you and the music on mic level quality.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so down the bottom in the block console, we just tell the viewer what's happening on the blockchain.
Console, though. We're not seeing the console though.
I'll just pause that because I can't hear you. But so the block console down the bottom shows what's happening behind the scenes as the audio is consumed. Right there it says Goldilocks and 5 Alarm have shared, you know, 0.24 MNX for 8 seconds of playback. So as that audio is streamed, the artists involved are literally getting paid more or less in real time. So right now it's in 6 to 8 second blocks. If I jump through that track and skip the middle part of it and keep playing, we
don't see the dashboard, mate. We're
okay.
We still see the presentation.
Okay, I'll jump back.
Yep.
I forget about that. The Zoom thing doesn't follow you around.
Yeah, it doesn't. You will need to, I don't know if you to drag the screen into the conversation or to put a different. How did you get the slides to show?
I got it.
Awesome. Now we see it.
Oh, yeah. So this is the demo. Bunch of tracks there from our Emanate partnering artists, and essentially this just demonstrates the payment engine and the collaboration engine that sits underneath Emanate. So the track I was playing before, you can see in the block console down the bottom, we kind of relay back what's happening on the blockchain to show the listener how the artist is being rewarded. So I'll just give that a quick play again. So you can see those payments coming through every 6 to 8 seconds. In this example, they're being split between Goldilocks and 5 Alarm, who did the remix. And, you know, if I jump right to the end of that track, the bit that I jumped, the artist doesn't get paid for because I didn't listen to it. And they get paid for the end. If I pause that, come back onto the next track, those artists start getting paid. Happens to be the same artist. If I jump to the next one, same thing. So you notice the music plays very quickly. None of this is cached on my machine. We're just using a really good streaming server. And that streaming is actually connected to the blockchain transaction. So there's a direct connection between the audio that's being consumed and the payments being made. Again, skip right through that. None of that music in the middle of the track has been paid for because it wasn't listened to, and the seconds at the end that I'm listening to are being rewarded. So you can see through that you know, this protocol layer could be used in all sorts of different gaming environments where audio is needed, but it's not necessarily a full track. How different parts could be used in a DJ mix and each person could get paid, or how it could be used even in a live performance. So, you know, right now it's a very simple demo. In May, we're launching the alpha platform, which takes what we've done here, adds, you know, full user profiles, easy sign-up system for people even that aren't familiar with blockchain. And we'll start over time to introduce features like monetized playlisting and network rewards for people that contribute to the platform. And probably the most exciting thing over time is the emergence of the decentralized governance of the platform, so that the token holders can actually vote on new features and changes to the fee structure and everything like that. So that's kind of an overview of where we're at the moment. And I thought maybe we can have a bit of a chat, and then I can give you a sneak preview of what's coming soon with the alpha platform.
Awesome. First of all, that demo looks lit, and we do love Emanate. It really speaks a lot about how much the music industry needs to change. Now, I wanted to ask you about the payments, the dynamic payments. What's the unit of time? Because I saw that the payments are going out at different units of time, and I was thinking, why not make it, you know, every 1 or 2 seconds? Like, what's the logic behind that?
It actually comes down to the size of the packets of audio. So even though you might be playing, say, 3 seconds of music, the size of that audio file could vary. So the payments are linked explicitly to the audio that's streaming off the server. And that's not like a requirement, but it's a very, very accurate way of paying for what's consumed. And we think that mechanism may be more useful in future if we want to give people in, say, developing countries cheaper access to lower quality music and have like premium tier for lossless playback and that sort of thing.
Does that mean that a full-on heavy metal band is going to get paid more than a piano player?
It's possible, yeah, that there could be a little bit of variance in there. You know, it's something that could change a bit. It could change a little bit over time. But right now, it's a really nice way of having accurate payments. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the other reasons is that it's less. It's more difficult for people to try and spoof that. So, you know, you could come onto the platform, and if we were just measuring the playback in the browser, you could come on and you could say, hey, pay me for 1,000 seconds of audio, even if it hasn't been listened to. But by linking it explicitly to the files coming off the server, then that's actually much more difficult to spoof.
That's awesome. I'm gonna let the community ask you some questions, Sean, and you already told me we have to wrap up soon, so I'm gonna leave 2 questions for the community.
No worries.
You got one question over there. No, come here. So you can also come to the video.
Hey man, this is Matt Rozak. When you're in Chicago, hit me up, matt@block.com. Number 1. Number 2 is so a lot of music platforms like Mycelium, right? Have you heard of that? With Imogen Heap, and there's like Alexandria. And I think what you're doing and the approach is spot on in terms of pay splitting and the way you're architecting this. The big question for you and everybody else that wants to change the world for artists is distribution. So assume you built everything that's on your whiteboard, on your architectural plan, on your product roadmap yesterday. What do you do today to get the distribution piece?
Like, how does that music get out to the most amount of people throughout the world? Is that the question?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what we believe Emanate will be able to do is integrate with other DSPs, essentially. So, you know, whether we manage to pull off a Spotify deal or something like that is remains to be seen. But certainly for smaller platforms that are starting up and developers who are, say, you know, making a fitness app that needs music, or someone running a virtual reality nightclub, or, you know, all of these amazing things that are starting to emerge. They want new and fresh audio in there all the time. They want their users to be able to select audio without having just a small library of licensed music to choose from. So the play is for developers and owners of third-party platforms to have an Emanate account, and for them to just pull in like any audio that they need, and for the artist to still be rewarded in the direct playback way that I just demonstrated. And you know, if this does manage to scale to the sorts of levels that would be needed to work with something like Spotify, then imagine the sorts of efficiencies they could bring to their account keeping departments and the people that normally deal with splits and record label deals and all of those sorts of things if everything's automated in the code. So yeah, the strategy is that it doesn't rely on people coming to Emanate as listeners and signing up for an account. That's how we're starting this journey. But I think, you know, in future, if things go the way that we want them to, you know, you won't even know when you're listening to Emanate. It might be, you might be in a cafe, or you could be on another platform, or you could be in a video game, and it just so happens that the artists are being rewarded through our technology.
Yeah, no, I think that's always, I think you're building it right. That's the biggest challenge. And then two, would you ever think about doing a community token for an artist? So if I'm a new aspiring artist and I want to bootstrap and I want to reward my early listeners or adopters, or give them free t-shirts with tokens or backstage pass or whatever, is there any a model on top of your model to do that?
There's a couple of teams out there that are doing those kind of branded tokens for artists. I think Singular DTV is one of the things that they offer. It's not something that we have planned at the moment, and I think that we should be able to reward artists and fans in a way that they don't need their own token. I think that there could be sort of, I think we're going to get token overload pretty quickly without like every single artist and brand having their own. But we are looking at ways for artists to be able to kind of incentivize the playback of their tracks and the attendance of their concerts and that sort of thing to their fans. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, look me up when you're in Chicago.
Yeah, what was the email address? Sorry, matt@block.com.
BLOQ. MATT. Block.com.
Wow, how did you get block.com? That's cool.
Long story, I'll tell you in Chicago.
Okay, so matt@block.com. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks. So listen, Sean, as usual, you were awesome. And thank you very much. Guys, give it up for Emanate.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, mate. I'll see you on Skype. And
Cool. Cheers, dude.
and have a nice flight.
Thanks for your help, man. See you later.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Bye. So, guys, this concludes our Build on EOS edition. Thank you for coming.